Hey everybody, welcome to episode 3 of VHS Bandits. In this episode, we watch Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town. Let's pop in the tape.
They are creatures of darkness, waiting for their moment to strike, waiting to prey on the innocent, and no power on earth can stop them. They're bad. They're beautiful. They're
8 broads on the rag.
Troma is proud to present Billy Bob Thornton in the Tromillennium edition of Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town.
for the love of men, for the love of animals,
Yo, the dog.
for the love of God. Does anyone know how to stop them?
Bring back the dead.
All these people are dead.
They're dead.
They're going to eat you.
Bitch.
Now, it's the Queens of Ghoul
Nobody runs me out of town.
against the zombie ghoul.
That's my husband, you think?
Your husband's dead! In a war that's got everyone losing their head. Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hey everybody, welcome again. Episode 3 of VHS Bandits. Comedy rules of 3, something, I don't know.
So this is going to be the funniest episode?
Yeah, I guess.
Out of our 3 episodes
so far.
Sure.
I guess in multiples of 3. This week we watch Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town. With me, as always, is Topher Hansen.
Hey, everybody.
And also, well, hold on. Wait.
What?
Do you guys hear that?
What? Did you fart?
Chugga.
Uh-oh. What's coming?
Woo woo, the Dane Train. I've been thinking about that all weekend. I just thought it'd be really funny. Dane Train's here with us too.
Hey, folks. Yup, the train has arrived.
Wow, way to kick off the funniest episode ever, apparently.
I spent way too much time thinking about that. I just
Yeah,
thought it'd be
that
kinda-
was great.
Weak.
Yeah.
I liked it. That was the best part of the show.
So, yeah.
About this movie,
Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town.
the title is amazing.
Yeah.
For sure.
I know we just said the pop in the tape. We
Yeah.
popped in the tape finding out that we had to rewind it all the way. I hope you guys did too.
Hey, what's the cover like?
This is one of the coolest covers of any movie ever. You got all these biker chicks like on the top of a pile of dirt.
I think that's called a road.
Does that look like a road?
No,
It's a
that's-
pile of
No,
dirt.
that's a pile of dirt.
It's a pile of dirt.
That's like
For
a
sure.
hill.
And
A mound of
and
something.
So you
A
got all these
mine,
biker
actually.
chicks. One's on a bike. One's got a shotgun and a whip. And then you got a couple of zombies down at the bottom, doing the zombie thing. But the best part is this kind of Beetlejuice-looking logo with like a chrome skull with wings. There's biker chicks and then in like these crazy, gradient green and yellow font, it says Zombie Town.
It reminds me a little bit of Biker Mice from Mars.
Yeah.
Like at
Oh,
least
yeah.
like the skull with the Chopper Chicks
Totally.
part, like
But
in a.
Then when the title came up on the screen, you can't read it.
Oh yeah, because it's
You
all
could read
fuzzy from
biker
'cause it's a tape.
chopper chicks, but then Zombie Town is in this like glowing blue mess that is unintelligible.
You can barely
it's-
read it.
It's really
What's
weird.
the like? You want to read the back for everyone?
Yeah, go for it, Dane Train.
Okay, guys. Now, on the
This is a Troma movie and
yeah.
a New Line Cinema release,
so-
by the way.
So Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hers present a Troma team release.
Yeah, this was their last major theatric release.
This was in theaters.
Yeah, this was in theaters. This is
Wow.
after this, any movie that they made only went to like art house.
I wonder why
studios
that
or
is.
whatever. Maybe
Chopper
it's
Chicks
just
from Zombieland did not go over well with the mass media.
Zombie Town.
Zombie Town. I'm sorry.
Zombieland is something
That's-
completely different.
Very different. I would like to see that crossover.
It'd be pretty good.
If Bill Murray was in this, we might have had
Movie
a
would have
different
been
rating.
probably
Yeah.
better. So the Hollywood Reporter really liked this movie. They said,
Sure, they did.
not just another action comedy horror biker zombie movie.
That's
Out of
For
all
sure.
the other action comedy horror zombie biker movies out there.
I believe that's the hyperbole.
Yeah. So on the back we have another sweet quote. which I'm sure none of us agree with. Yeah, this is from the Austin Chronicle, whoever the hell they are.
My favorite newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
I get all my news from the Austin
The
Chronicle.
Stone Cold Steve, the Austin Chronicle.
It's actually one guy named Austin, and he writes it in crayon.
Yeah. So he says it's like shades of Night of the Living Dead and a bit of The Seven Samurai. Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town is a very smart and funny movie.
Is that how
my
Austin
goodness.
speaks? Was that your best Austin impression?
That is my Austin impression.
So
Perfect.
That I got to tell you guys my favorite quote from, I think it's efilmcritic.com. I found this online when doing a little research for the movie. Someone called this, it's Seven Samurai with lesbian biker trash. That's what they said.
Didn't that guy just say Seven Samurai?
He did.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
a lot of
wow.
people are
He just left out
comparing
the
it
lesbian
to,
biker trash.
He did, yeah. Comparing it to the classic Kurosawa movie, Seven Samurai, which I don't know if you guys...
I have not
I haven't
seen it.
either.
It's
I know
like
of
if you
it, but-
like samurai movies, it's great.
I referenced
it's-
it in a movie that I did. I think we were talking about Akira Kurosawa porn parodies.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think it involved a samurai dildo, I believe.
Seven people. They're defending
Seven
a-
sluts.
Yeah, seven
Yeah.
sluts.
That's what it was.
Okay.
I
I
mean-
just think that's funny that quote and this quote. But I love this because it's like, oh, it's this big, classic, epic movie, but just, with lesbian biker trash.
Obviously.
But
Yeah,
would
absolutely.
would you personally think that this is a big epic movie that's on the same level as that?
I wouldn't
Wait,
call
did
it...
Akira Kurosawa direct this or no? I'm confused.
No,
Let me
this
look at
was
the back
this
of
was
the
directed
box.
by Dan Hoskins.
I could have sworn it was Akira Kurosawa.
I know, very confusing. Maybe if
The imagery-
Kurosawa was first making a movie, or this is his absolute last movie.
This is his
and
thesis film from
Yeah.
junior college.
Exactly.
Let's see.
Read the back. Let's
I'll
get
read the
into
back.
it. We still have no idea what this movie is about.
Horror,
Whoa.
romance,
Nope.
zombies.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some.
What more could you ask for? The Chopper Chicks are revved up for the rowdiest ride of their liberated lives when they make a pit stop in the armpit of America. I think they misspelled Rev. Is Rev REVVED or is it just one V?
That's revved.
That's what it's
That's
supposed
past
to,
tense.
That's what it's supposed to say. Revved.
Right.
But I mean,
Because when you make something past tense, you double the constant that came before it.
I'm terrible at English.
I believe
so-
Miss
All right,
Panucci taught us that.
Okay.
I did
Whatever.
not pass that class. in
I
sixth
did
grade.
not
So
have
I could
Miss
be,
Panucci.
If there's a listener out there that knows the rules of grammar, please don't email us.
You can email us if you want.
Just make sure you spell everything correctly.
We wouldn't be able to tell one way or the other.
'Cause
You could
we don't
really
know.
just say, "Oh, it's spelled with 2 R's and 7 Z's," and we'd be like, okay, that makes sense."
Yeah, we'll post the answer on the next podcast.
Yeah.
alrighty. Let's see here. There they discover a murderous mortician, Dom Calfa from Weekend at Bernie's. I remember he was the hitman in that, and he's always like one of those guys that's just in a bunch of other stuff, but you never know what his name is. Who's killing off the dim-witted townsfolk and turning them into, take a guess, zombies.
Whoa.
The macho
What a twist.
man-hungry motorcycle mamas include Jamie Rose of TV's Lady Blue, Catherine Carlin from Ghostbusters, but I don't remember seeing her in
that
Ghostbusters
Janine?
ever. I don't think so.
Maybe it's the woman who played Gozer the Gozerian.
Possibly.
Oh yeah, right. And Martha Quinn. She's an MTV VJ and on Tapeheads, and she's also currently a DJ on XM Radio. It's hell.
It says that on the box?
No, I just
Okay.
know that. Yeah, I think she does First Wave and maybe Ozzy's Boneyard. I think. Well, it doesn't matter. It's hell-raising biker babes versus flesh-eating zombies in the nuttiest, head-chopping action climax ever made.
I don't know if I agree with that, but sure. Why not?
It's relatively close to that, kind of, sort of, maybe not really.
Yeah, Yeah. So, where do we begin?
What is this movie really about, guys?
What's it really about?
What is this movie really about?
It's about a cast of at least 300 main characters that you don't know the first name of any of them.
Yeah.
And half of them are biker chicks. The other half are townsfolk. That in the third half is a school of the blind children, blind orphans, to be exact. Orphans, excuse me. And they all come in and out of the plot as they see fit.
Oh, yeah.
And only when they're actually necessary to make something explode. I think that sums it up fairly well.
I think
so. The biker gang are called the Cycle Sluts.
Cycle Sluts.
And they're just riding through town.
Yes.
They're not really going anywhere.
No, yeah, they're just they're a nomadic band of sluts, I guess.
I think they're like just a biker chick where they go and sleep with random dudes in town and they eat food and then move on.
And then go on their merry way, which weirdly enough is like the first 10 minutes of the movie. They show up. Oh, no. At the beginning of the movie, you see there's a bus of orphans, and they're stranded on the side of the road. And
can I just say that you know they're orphans because the bus says orphans on it.
It does.
Yeah. Blind orphans, too.
Yes, blind orphans.
And for some reason, they need to mention that the bus driver at all times carries his prize Uzi.
Yep.
For
sentimental value, like right next to.
It's like mounted on like where the rear view mirror would be. Is where he keeps his Uzi.
So we see this kid who's.
And their bus broke down.
Yeah, their bus broke down.
In the desert. This movie takes place in a desert. It's like an old cowboy town almost.
It literally takes place in an abandoned cowboy town. But it's like a prop town.
Yeah.
Because like everything looks
Every
like
building burns down.
It's just someone built a set for a cowboy movie. And then
the Tromo's like, oh, they fucking left the set here.
Oh,
Let's just use it. They don't know.
Exactly.
I like I guess that if I recall from the story correctly, because the story's all over the place, but so I guess that this used to be a big mining town and the mine got closed off, and the actual opening to the mine looks like exactly like the quintessential, like haunted house mine thing that you'd see at like a haunted attraction. Identically.
And this little kid goes in there because he's looking
for his dad. And we don't know anything about this kid or his dad. He's lost in the desert.
The only reason we know he's looking for his dad because he goes into this mine, and there happens to be like this bunker.
Which is 5 miles away from the town, by the way. Because there's many signs every mile.
What's the name of the town again? Juvian?
Zariah?
Zenith.
With population 128 and then goes down to 127.
Yep, and then this little this little guy comes out with his toolbox and scribbles out the 8, makes a 7.
Right, but so the kid's looking for his dad in the desert for some reason.
So he goes into the mine.
He goes into the mine, and then once you go down to the mine, you're greeted by like a freshly new tiled, like it looks like the opening to a Subway bathroom.
Yeah,
not Subway the store, but like a Subway station. Red door, like white tiled walls in the bottom of a mine,
like a hidden bunker.
Yeah, but except it's really clean.
It is,
considering that it's in a mine.
Yeah, so he unlocks the door because it's locked, obviously.
Yeah, it's padlocked. But the lock is unlocked, so he just takes it out.
So it's just kind of barred.
So there's no point for it.
So he goes
locked.
in and he goes, "Dad, are you in here?" Ah! And then you just see like a little ketchup squirt out from under the door.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then
I guess there's zombies in there.
There's something going on in there.
There's something nefarious in that mine for sure.
Given the name of the movie, you would assume zombies.
Yes. So then we see the population sign, or the biker chicks ride up to
the biker
I don't know
chicks
what
ride through.
It's a gas station or something.
Well, they're on the side of the road putting on their sweet Cycle Sluts jackets to represent their gang.
Yeah,
before they
just
go into
like
town.
spray painted on the back of their jackets.
There's one biker chick who doesn't want to go into the town We don't know why. She's just kind of opposed to it, but
Yeah.
we find out later.
Yeah.
She looks a lot to me.
Spoiler alert, she's from that town.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. And her
yes.
ex-husband's there.
Who is Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah.
No joke.
Weird.
He's in this movie, and he looks nothing like you would think he does today, if that makes any sense.
That doesn't make sense. He looks like Billy Bob Thornton,
No.
but younger.
No,
he looks
no,
like a
I'll-
1988 Billy Bob
I don't know.
Thornton.
It's just that, like, any movie I've ever seen Bill Bob Thornton, he doesn't look like he does in this movie. I don't know how else to put it.
'Cause, yeah,
he looks
has
weird. I think
color
it's
in
because
his
he has,
hair.
like, a lot of, like, weird hair or something like that. I don't know.
His like shirt is off the whole time.
Well,
So
that
you
too.
see a lot of body hair. I don't know
I don't know.
if that does it for you.
Anywho.
So they I'm so confused already. There's so much going on. There's the population. So they're driving past the town, and then it says like Zathura. I don't know if that's not it because that's a movie.
Zariah.
Population
It's called
128.
Sleepy Ghost Town.
And it's written on like a chalkboard. The numbers written on a chalkboard, and then
Clearly, it changes multiple times a day.
yeah, and then this dwarf, because that's what he likes to be called.
His name is Bob.
His name is Bob.
I don't know where you got that from.
No, he's a dwarf.
No, you said that's what he likes to be called.
Because he said that.
he
Because
did?
one of the blind kids called him a midget, and he's like, I am a dwarf.
Yes.
Oh,
So I want to use the proper terminology.
But his name is
No,
Bob.
his name's not dwarf. That
He's
would be
he's the
terrible.
one of
It's
the
not like
he's one of the
Dwarf
few
goes
characters.
fishing.
No, he's
That's
not.
dwarf.
Dwarf goes fishing. Yeah.
Wow, you
Dwarf
are
is
incredibly
not in this movie.
insensitive.
Holy shnikes. You know
Dwarf
what?
would have made this movie a lot better, though.
Yeah, I think, I used to
I
not
think
even
he'd
kid
fit
ya,
right in.
Go off a tangent real quick. When I was a kid, I remember renting more than once.
You bought the Dwarf movies
Dwarf
off
Goes
TV?
Fishing on
The 15-minute
no,
dwarf
I
movies
rented it. I
for
rented it at the video
$27.
store. And I kind of wish I had it today so we could talk about it on the show.
It's the 15 minutes long.
No.
But still, it's Dwarf, and he goes fishing.
Yeah.
So Bob is one of the few characters that we actually know their name.
Yeah.
Like everyone says their name, but everyone mumbles through this movie.
Yeah,
so
you can't
most of the
understand
dialogue you can't really understand.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of swearing.
But so Bob the dwarf is caught up with the he's a mad scientist.
He's a
but
mortician.
he's a mortician.
he's a mortician.
So
who's burying someone. But
Yeah.
before you see him like giving the eulogy at the grave and whatever.
Oh, yeah, so-
he takes
yeah,
the body
they're
out
at
of
the
the
graveyard.
casket and puts in just bags of sand.
right.
And you're just like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then he's like rushing along the eulogy, and
Yeah.
the sand starts
I love-
pouring
And
out. So he
there's
just
only
starts
one
kicking
person
the,
at the
casket.
funeral.
Yeah, kicking the casket, like trying to push it down.
That's when I knew
He's
this
like,
movie was
"Nah,
gonna be
fuck
awesome."
it. Let's just bury the sap. Just go down faster.
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's get out of here.
And so then he puts Bob in another casket, right?
Oh
And
no!
then-
So that's a little later.
is it?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Because we see the biker chicks come into town,
And then they go to the diner
and they
or
go in
whatever?
the diner.
Yeah.
And right away,
And one of the biker
guy,
chicks is like, I need some meat. I need some meat. And she's clearly talking about cock.
Yes.
Because she's
She's gotta get her biological urges fulfilled.
right. Yes,
She's gotta
so,
get laid.
So she wants to go to town. I believe that's their motivation to go into this town is just to go there and have sex with some random dudes.
have sex and refuel
yeah,
their bikes.
which they never do. They have sex.
they do.
but they don't refuel their bikes.
Well, they
ever.
never show it. I imagine they ride around an awful lot in this movie. So
They'd have to
at one
refuel at
point
some
they would
time.
have to refuel. So they go into this diner, and the diner guy's like, "Oh, we don't want your kind in here." He's holding a baseball bat, and they just pull out a vaguely small wad of cash,
It's
plop
like
it down.
10
He's like, "Oh,
10 ones."
welcome."
Yeah, and then they're like, they're doing that like super generic like we're badass thing where they're
I'm gonna eat food right
yeah
off
they
your plate.
eat food off of other people's plates, like the two customers that are in there for no reason because they just paid for their own food just to show that they're badass. And they do the thing, I don't know if you guys notice this in movies where especially like biker gangs or like gangs or whatever, they just like have like maniacal laughter after everything they say.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they yeah, I'm gonna push over and open this door really loudly. And they just have that annoying laugh after like everything they say.
Yeah.
Because that's what badass people do. They laugh after everything they say. Then what happens? They go to the thing.
So
they
that's
fuck with
when
people.
the
Cut to putting Bob in a casket.
no, not quite yet, because
Blind
the
people?
mortician is like, ooh.
No, we
those-
don't see the blind people for another hour.
Yeah.
They just disappear.
Not
This
for
is
a
what this
while.
movie loves to do. It introduces a bunch of characters and then throws them away.
Yeah, so the one biker chick. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The mortician sees the
It's
biker,
okay, I'm very
biker people.
confused.
Yeah, no, it jumps all over. So just bear with us. We're gonna address a lot of the plot points.
This
but,
is 100%
but
accurate.
yes, exactly. So the mortician sees the bikers and is like, "Ooh, fresh meat," kind of, whatever.
Right.
So then that's when one of the bikers is like, "I gotta go get laid," and another biker is like, "No, don't break off from the pack." She's like, "I'll be back in 15 minutes, whatever." Apparently, she's very quick.
Yeah, she's like 15 minutes or an hour.
Yeah,
Eh, depending on who
depends
she-
on who she finds.
Yeah.
So the mortician sees her driving off, gets in his hearse, and kills her, runs her over.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Whoa, yeah. This is the slowest
It's a car crash.
vehicular
and she-
homicide I've ever seen.
Yeah, so-
she is driving maybe basically
Maybe
pedaling her
20
motorcycle.
miles an hour at most.
Yeah, her boots could be on the ground and she'd be fine. And then the same thing with the mortician's just pulling up his old Buick or whatever.
The hearse.
The hearse.
You know what?
Yeah.
She could have survived
She should have survived.
if she was wearing a helmet. No one wears helmets in this movie. Very unsafe.
It's the deserts of New Hampshire.
The mortician also
Oh,
clubbed her in the head.
that's
yeah,
true, yeah.
But still, you'd figured even with the clubbing, she'd get a concussion. Maybe she fell asleep after, and that's what killed her. But she shouldn't have died through this.
It's legit as slow as that scene in Interstellar where they're connecting the spaceships. It's just
I don't know that. You've ruined Interstellar for me.
I'm sorry, that's the best part of Interstellar. You don't need to see it anymore.
What?
Is
Matthew
this movie
McConaughey's
better
in that
than
movie.
Interstellar?
No, Interstellar's pretty good. Anyway, so they go.
I'd rather watch this than Interstellar.
They connect.
All right,
and
all
this
right.
car accident happens at 0 miles an hour. And then he clubs her in the head and takes her back to his laboratory, which you would assume is in the mine, just the way they set it up and shot it. But no, it's in a diner somewhere else or something.
They never really say where it is. They
Everything-
never really plot out the.
Yeah,
the-
you have
the
no
town
scope
something.
of the area of this town. Everything is 1,000 miles away or right next to each other.
But we got to say, they jump back to the mine where the kid got.
There's a CCTV TV watching the zombies.
There is. So there's zombies behind the door. That's what ate the kid, and they're going. And
Spoiler alert,
I know.
Kev.
I'm sorry. So because the kid got eaten,
Yeah,
he didn't lock the door behind him.
but it wasn't fucking locked anyway.
Well,
so.
it wasn't padlocked, but unlocked, whatever you want to
Yeah,
call it. It wasn't
I guess
barred,
so.
but whatever. So the zombies could get out.
Yeah.
So they do. We see that on the closed circuit television.
Right.
But no one pays any mind to it.
Right.
So we have to mention that every time you see the zombies walking in the first half of the movie, anytime
yeah.
they're walking, it's just this.
It's like
goofy,
Yakety Sax plays.
Yeah, this goofy, dumpy music with slide whistle.
Yes, there's so much slide whistle and it's like a cartoon music of just
and they don't even look like zombies. It's just they're dead
They're just
because
slow
they're
people, 'cause
yeah,
they're
it's just
dusty.
slow. They're dusty and they're just wearing the nice clothing, but they've been embalmed, so
In a
they're
one-
preserved kind
yeah.
of okay. It's not like their flesh is rotting
and
or
there's a
anything.
zombie bride which looks cool, but it makes me wonder, would you really bury someone in their wedding dress?
Maybe it was in her will that's what she wanted.
Maybe that was the only nice dress she had. Yeah,
That's true. It is a small town.
It is
Only
a small town
128 people.
in the middle. 27.
They didn't
27 now,
they
yes.
didn't have Sears outlet back then. So
Yeah, they didn't. They couldn't make a dress in time for the funeral.
yeah.
So we go to the mortician's office, wherever it is, and he basically embalms the people with some weird
It was like chocolate milk.
It's like kind of a ripoff of if you guys have ever seen cat's got my tongue.
Never seen it.
The Reanimator. The Reanimator.
yeah.
Where he's instead of because the Reanimator has like this glow stick liquid.
Except
in a
this is
syringe.
this is like
blue glow
chocolate
stick.
milk, except more like. You
This
guys
is
ever
like-
have?
It's like really concentrated
blueberry
chocolate
you
milk.
milk.
guys ever have like the purple Hawaiian punch?
Ew.
Yeah,
No.
kinda
Yeah,
like that.
that's what it looks like.
Kind of like
Yeah.
that, and that's when Bob comes in and
But
he's
no,
like, "Oh,
I mean,
I did a bad thing."
The thing is that he embalms all these zombies, but that's not what makes them zombies. He drills holes into their head and implants batteries. That's what makes them zombies.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't need to embalm them at all.
Well, maybe just for the preservation. That's why all the zombies don't look
Are
like
so
zombies.
good-looking?
Yeah, so
Maybe.
you could argue that they're not really zombies; they're more robots because
Yeah,
the-
they're kind of
the brain
cyborg-esque.
implants.
Yeah. Whoa.
I know
That
It's
just blew my mind.
I know. Should
Gives
be
this whole
Chopper
movie
Chicks in Robot Town.
Brand new meaning.
Well, this
That should be a cool sequel.
that
Yeah.
should be. I mean, unnecessary. I wouldn't watch it.
Oh no!
but
Don't anybody ever produce that movie?
yeah.
I would do it.
So that's when Bob comes in and
Billy Bob?
No,
Oh.
no, Bob the dwarf.
Bob the dwarf. Okay, sorry.
And he's I guess does the mortician's grunt work.
Oh, yeah,
just
he
does
works for the
everything.
mortician.
He does. Yeah.
Because we find out later he works for the mortician because the mortician, like, he doesn't pay him.
He promises it that he'll make Bob big.
Yeah, he'll make him tall.
He'll make him tall.
Which-
I like saying
whatever-
big because it just makes me think of Tom Hanks. Like he'll go to the
He'll turn
Zoltar
him
machine
into
or
Tom
whatever.
Hanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Don't we all want to be Tom Hanks just a little bit?
just a lot of it.
Just a lot of it. Okay.
So that's why Bob works for this mortician, and he's like the mortician talks to himself a lot, like he's talking to the dead bodies.
The whole movie,
you can't understand what he's saying.
You cannot understand the mortician except maybe once, and he was just swearing.
He's probably
Or,
my
like,
favorite character. though.
gonna shoot someone.
Hands down, the mortician played by Don Calfa is hands down the best part of this whole freaking movie.
Absolutely, he's just like he does not give a fuck. He just does whatever he wants
He
to
is
do.
just one wacky
and
dude. this
goes
whole-
for it.
Well, it's like
It's
half
all for personal gain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like half the time, you don't know if he's just crazy. You don't know if he's like a zombie.
Oh yeah,
You don't know. You never know. He's just this crazy, wacky dude.
There
And-
was some confusion as to if he turned into a zombie, but we'll get to that later. Because this is the scene where he like, explains why he's turning people into zombies, and he just says, "Just because I'm mean,
Yep.
I'm mean,
He's
so
mean.
fuck it, I'm gonna make people
And
into zombies."
he's chasing Bob around the lab, I
lab?
guess, because Bob's smoking underneath the corpses like he's not supposed to do.
Yeah,
And that's when he plops him in a casket, drags the casket outside, and throws him in a well. And the casket drowns.
but then Bob gets out, and it has nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah.
I think it was just some kind of like punishment.
Yeah,
for him.
but
Maybe it's terrible.
he just like he wasn't even wet.
Right.
The next
Oh,
time we
yeah.
saw him, it like was not referenced at all.
right.
It just happened.
Yeah. So after
I
this
think because he
scene-
needed to, because Bob wasn't in that scene. It was just him pulling a casket and like doing some exposition, talking to the casket. I was just like, we don't have Bob today, so fucking we'll just have him say this shit to an empty box.
Yeah, maybe
Get it over with.
Maybe if we had the DVD, which we'll never have.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We're strictly VHS guys
Is this
here.
movie available on DVD?
Probably not.
Well, I don't know because
I don't know. Trauma might have
Yeah,
re-released it.
it's a trauma
Kev,
flick.
you're the only guy in this room who does any research. I'm surprised you didn't look at this yet.
Well, I didn't look at it on Amazon for that, but I guess I could do that later. But maybe if the DVD has extras like
It
deleted
tells you
scenes, it'll
this is
give
all
you a
the
little
shit that
more
we
insight
fucked up on.
to this. Yeah. So after this, we see a scene where Billy Bob Thornton gets introduced, and
And
we
by the way,
figure
this is
out
about the
that-
time that we forget about the zombies because the zombies have escaped already, but you fucking don't see them
because
at
they're
all.
5 miles
Yeah,
out,
they got to trek a whole 5 miles.
and they're zombies. They're slow.
Yeah, they're
Slow
walking,
zombies.
but
It takes them like 2 days
I'm
to
just
get
saying that there's like
need to
we
make the
we
music
already
that they're
forgot
walking to.
we already forgot about the orphans,
Blind orphans.
The blind orphans. And now we're going to forget about the zombies. And now we're introduced to Billy Bob Thornton.
Yep. Who sneaks up behind the redheaded biker.
Who is the girl that used to live in this town.
Right. That's when we find out she used to live in the town. And Billy Bob Thornton is her husband.
Yeah.
But apparently...
She went to a church or something? She drove her bike to a church while all the other biker girls are having sex with random townsfolk.
Which is a montage. There's where they just meet a character or just walk up to a character and go, this is happening.
Yeah,
so,
and then they basically, force themselves upon the townsfolk and have sex with them. And one is an underage boy, I believe. And but the leader of the bike gang is a lesbian. So she just goes to a bar
and she starts singing.
Like some
a
really
weird
bad
rock and roll song.
Yeah.
She turns on the jukebox that has. She picks out a song that she just knows doesn't have any lyrics, so she just starts singing.
She Fonzie's the jukebox, and then this really terrible fresh music just starts playing. It's just bad guitar, rock and roll, generic
For those listeners who don't know, what is fresh music?
Fresh music,
royalty-free music.
Yeah, it's just royalty-free music.
It's just super generic music that you'd hear, just public domain stuff to use, or just anyone can use it.
Kevin MacLeod's work. Look him up.
Yeah,
he's one of the greatest royalty-free music composers of our time. So it's just really terrible rock and roll rip-off music that has no words to it, but she is singing a song along it. It's like, listen to your mama.
Maybe it's
something
a song
like that.
Maybe it's a song that she made.
And she's a baritone.
Maybe it's a song that she made.
And she's
musically.
this is the perfect opportunity for me to showcase my talents.
It's strategically placed in every jukebox across the country.
Yes.
So she can just go in and bust out and sing to this song. And people be like, hey, that was really good.
Just in case there's a record executive in that random bar at any point in time.
Did we mention that there is a dead body in an open casket in this bar?
We did not, but that's a great point.
Yeah, people die. Everyone dies in this town. It's so weird, and they're just so nonchalant about it. They're just shit happens.
Yeah, why are they people are drinking at the bar. Everyone's there's 5 or 6 people drinking at the bar, and then they show close-ups of a dude in a casket, and I'm like, oh, that must be in the laboratory. No, it's in the bar with them.
Yeah, and
Why?
one of the patrons takes the mute biker slut. Sorry, cycle slut. My bad.
Don't slut shame.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get the name right. And he's like, listen, our friend here wants you to kiss him. And they try to make her kiss the corpse. And that's when the biker boss, the one who was singing, initiates the bar fight scene.
Yeah.
So there is a bar fight scene in this.
And she has a whip.
She does.
She carries a whip on her belt. Yeah, and which she doesn't really know how to use because, she's not very good with it.
But she uses it kind of
I think
later on in the movie, but she's still not great at it.
I think it was just one of those ideas, the set designer or the costume designer rather, or the director or whoever is just hey, it'd be cool if she was wearing a whip.
But
and they're like, yeah,
it's crazy because it's not like Indiana
Jones
Jones wearing the whip, kind of on the side.
Yeah,
she wears it right in the front.
It bums me out because the whole movie, I keep thinking, oh man, sweet, she's gonna crack the whip and wrap it around some zombies' necks and twist off the heads. No,
yeah, and there's
never, not even once.
Speeding up, there's a whole decapitation montage. And she doesn't do that once.
Right.
Very disappointing. We will go back to that montage because that's probably my favorite part of the movie aside from the kooky mortician.
Any scene with the kooky mortician is the best parts of the movie.
So when the fight breaks out, that's when all the other biker chicks come because I guess they've already gotten laid. They show up to the bar and they initiate the fight. And that's when the rest of the town, all 15, maybe 20 people with their guns, come and they go, hey, listen, we just want peace in this town.
Or we'll shoot you. And then they're just all right, we're out of here. Except that's when Billy Bob Thornton shows up and hey, I still love you. You're my wife. And
all the other biker chicks are like, "Buh, you're married?
And you were prom queen?
And you were prom queen."
At a prom of like 3 people, probably.
Yeah, we don't see... I didn't see any high school in this town.
There was no high school. There was one high school aged kid who
All the blind kids were teenagers.
Yeah, but they don't live in the town. They were just driving by.
They were in a school bus, though.
Yeah, but they're not like that
maybe
from
they were
that
on like
town. I feel like they were taking a field trip.
3 or 4 of them. Yeah, maybe they're on a
driving
field trip.
somewhere else.
They were orphans, so they're just roaming.
Yeah, they're just
Nobody
searching for a
loves
home,
them.
man. Searching for a home. I think that's how adoption works. They're like door-to-door orphans. You got to try it out.
Do you need
Any
some
method
kids
you
who
need.
will do some chores?
It's like
We're
Rent a Kid
orphans.
with Leslie Nielsen. Great movie. Huh?
What movie's that?
Rent a Kid, I think.
Leslie Nielsen rented out kids?
Yeah, it's not a movie. It's his own personal side business.
Oh,
I
man.
think his children took it over, or they all got rented out and couldn't take it over. Not quite
Possibly. He couldn't go back to collect those kids.
sure. So
Very tragic.
then,
So the biker chicks ride off without the redheaded one.
because the lead biker chick takes her key to her motorcycle.
Yeah, because she's like,
and
you got to
abandons
choose
her.
your husband or choose us.
Yeah,
And she was like, I don't know what I want. So they just left.
yeah.
But when
And then she goes back to Billy Bob Thornton's trailer.
Did she?
Yeah, that's where they talk about. I don't know what they talk about, but they go there.
Oh, how it was
and
a
then
big mistake.
She kicks him in the dick.
marrying- Yeah, it was a big mistake marrying.
Oh, yeah, she got a tattoo of him too.
Right, and
Yeah.
apparently it got infected, and that was the sign that their marriage was.
Yeah,
was
she's
a
like,
sham.
I ran out on you, got a tattoo. Years later, it got infected. We're not meant to be.
and that means I don't love you.
But Billy Bob Thornton is all about getting her back for some reason.
Yeah, because he loves her. You know,
And he probably hasn't seen another woman in like 10 years.
there's no one else in that town
and
under
he
the
can't
age,
leave the town because
under the
why
age
would
of
he?
65. So
Right.
it doesn't really matter. So then we cut to the other biker chicks.
Yeah,
the
but
cycle
we
sluts.
missed one because there was the introduction of another character that was forgotten about. So that teenage kid, I think he's a teenager, he's probably like 38.
Well, we meet a few when they're hooking up. So there's the virgin who just gets screwed and leaves.
Yeah, we
and
never
that's
hear.
when
Yeah.
we meet the nurse town person who's just kind of like says one-liners here and there.
Yeah,
There's the mechanic who is like, you know, what? Do you know how to fix a bike? Blah blah blah.
yeah. And these are all people that the biker ladies slept with.
Yep. And the biker lady's like, well, I need the socket wrench or whatever. And he's like, well, I'm using it. And then she just gives him a look, and that means they're going to have sex. And then
The kid with the graffiti.
Yeah,
The kid with the
that's the
graffiti.
teenage
He's
kid
got
I'm
like,
talking
that's
about.
the
he wears
teenage kid.
like a white T-shirt with puke stains all over it.
yeah, because
So they're graffitiing some like limestone crater or what? They're graffitiing something. I don't know.
yeah, like a
Said,
burned
like,
down warehouse
Cycle
or something
Sluts World Tour 1988. something
Yeah.
like that.
in America.
Yeah, World
all
Tour
the-
of the Americas.
all the while.
I don't think they have their passports.
Bob is trying to do some dirty work and kill more of the cycle sluts.
Oh, I
but
think
never
that-
finds the right moment.
Yeah, so
he's gonna
Bob
kill
follows them around
Yeah.
while they're having sex with these people.
Yeah,
and he tries to
he's
shoot
got
them
like
and
a
stuff.
gun and like a blow dart gun.
Yeah,
And like
I totally forgot about that because it was.
yeah, he just keeps popping up.
Yeah, he just like now that you like mention that and I hear it out loud, it makes sense. But watching, I'm just like, he's just fucking
By the way, I'm
just a
sorry
peeping
if it starts
Tom.
to reek in here. I just took my shoes off.
gross.
And I could smell them, and they stink like this movie.
Oh God, you're lucky this is a podcast.
You better start farting
We're
then to
gonna
make it smell better.
We're
in
gonna
here.
make VHS and Bandits and Smell-O-Vision, so you guys can smell my stinky
and it's really
feet.
gonna
No,
smell
thank
like
you.
some zombies in here.
Yeah.
So
And biker
so
chicks.
So then we meet this teenager, and like he has a conversation with one of the biker chicks who wants to be a music producer for some reason,
but she doesn't. She says she wants to be a music producer,
but she describes the job of a music engineer,
Exactly.
which is why she would be a terrible producer because she doesn't even know what it is.
But it spoiler alert, it turns out she was just a roadie, or
Yeah.
they mention it later on. They're like, so a terrible roadie or a groupie, maybe one of the two.
This is just like a terrible backstory that supposed to make you sympathize with her. That like, oh, that's why she became a biker chick from Mars.
Yeah, from one way or another in this movie, you at least get a slight glimpse at every person's background.
I gotta say though, the one who wants to be the music producer / engineer, the only piece of character development that I think matters most is the teenage kid, whatever, is like, oh, what's your name? She's like, TS or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, what's it stand for? She's like, Thomas Smith. My parents wanted a son. And it's like, oh, so she ran away from home because like her parents wanted a son, so they always treat like that makes more sense than, oh, I wanted to be a music producer and that didn't turn out, so I ran away.
Yeah. And then he said, my parents always wanted a smart kid. Joke falls flat. And
Bob doesn't kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, so then he's hiding in a dumpster, which is in the middle of a desert. He tries to shoot them. I don't know. And I'm so confused.
So, sorry, that's a little far back, but now we're going to jump to townsfolk circling the bikers. Billy Bob Thornton shows up. Bikers say, choose your husband or us, and then they leave.
Oh, wait, no. So when Billy Bob Thornton they go to the trailer that Billy Bob Thornton lives at?
Hold on, we're jumping ahead a little.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does it matter?
Well, I was going to explain something.
I feel like this whole movie's jumping ahead.
Because it kind of comes around with the character development, because then we see the argument.
Whoa.
What?
You said that there's character development in this movie?
No, I'm saying because we were talking about the slight character development with
the slight
with
character
Thomas
development.
Smith or whatever,
okay,
yeah.
we can use that phrase.
That's the way to go. So they're like in an abandoned church or something that's really run down right across
when
the
she
street.
meets Billy Bob?
Nope.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
nope.
just
this
talk.
Is
the
other biker chicks. They drove off.
Sure.
And they're just waiting because they're waiting on the biker chick who went off to get laid, the first one,
right?
That the mortician just killed,
yeah.
Which also
that
reminds
got hit
me,
by the car,
right, like 100 feet from where the other biker chicks were, so they should have seen it, but they didn't for whatever reason. So they're waiting for her, and they're like, "Well, she'll show up eventually," and that's when they all get in a fight, and that's when they reveal parts of their past. And the boss is like, I don't care. I don't need any of you. And it's weird because it's like none of them need each other or like each other, but
I feel like they like each other,
misfits,
but
so they have to band together. And it's like they constantly fight with the boss, who's like, fine, I don't need any of you. And
yeah,
then
the
comes
boss
back and
is
like,
just a total
all right,
bitch.
we got to do this together. So then we jump to Billy Bob
So
Thornton.
that's the character development thing during the fight,
Yes.
is what you're talking, because
Yeah,
she
because
literally
they
points
reveal-
out so they get into this argument because they left behind that the redheaded girl who is from that town, and then they're like, she was just this prom queen bitch, blah blah blah, and then they get an argument. They're like, we need to go back and help her. And then the main lady's like, fuck her, fuck you, because you come from a poor family, and you come from your husband used to beat you up, and you never had any friends, and you wore braces as a child, blah, blah, blah. And she just goes through the backstory of why they're all misfits, and it's not really that...
They don't really care any other time. They
Yeah.
just kind of like, hey, so these characters a little more. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the only reason that they had this scene.
Doesn't have anything to do with anything.
No, it makes you feel... It doesn't make you sympathize with them at all.
So at the same time this is happening, redheaded Nicole Kidman and Billy Bob Thornton go into the mortician's place.
Isn't Nicole Kidman a redhead anyway?
I don't know.
Yeah, if you watch BMX Bandits, they look like exactly the same.
Right.
I thought she looked like a redheaded Gina Davis from Beetlejuice with the hair.
Right.
It's very curly.
Transylvania 65000 too.
It's a great flick.
It's not great flick. All right. So they go to the mortician's place and find out that there's some zombies there, and mortician guy shoots Billy Bob Thornton. He's dead. And you find out that all these, biker chick zombie, all she wants to do is do it with other people. She's like,
wants meat. She wants the
meat.
She wants man meat.
So
she blows some other zombie just because they got to throw that in there. That's
Oh yeah, so they turn that sex nympho lady into a zombie.
Yeah, and she's just a
the
nympho
butcher
zombie.
from the town, I think.
yeah, the person who was getting buried, quote unquote buried at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. So she blows him.
So she blows him,
As a
and
zombie.
then it was so weird. I don't fully understand exactly what happened. They went exploring. They found the bodies. The mortician shows up and like wakes up the bodies. So they jump out a window, but the mortician's outside with a gun. I don't know. It's weird. This movie jumps around,
but then
and
they
people are
lock-
either like really slow or really quick. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
the
those zombies were really fast.
The
Maybe
zombies
because
are
they just
no.
died.
Oh,
The sex zombies.
The ones that they
So
just
she
stumbled
blows
upon.
the zombie, and then Gina Davis lookalike tries to escape, right?
Yeah, out the window.
Out the window, and then he pulls the gun on them, but they get locked in a freezer, right?
Bob finds her outside with points a gun at her, and then puts her and dead Billy Bob Thornton into that locker
Oh yeah,
room.
Billy Bob Thornton dies. He gets shot. What happened to him?
Yes, the
He gets
mortician shot him.
As soon as the zombie
The
people
whole-
go after them, mortician guy just pops up, nonchalant, bam, and shoots him.
The mortician just murders tons of people in this movie, and
Because
nobody
he's mean.
cares. Yeah, because he's mean. Like, he murdered the sheriff just because the sheriff was like, I don't like those biker chicks. And then he just shanks him in the neck.
Yeah.
And it
Why
just,
though? He wasn't doing anything
No,
to stop
because-
the mortician from doing his
Exactly. Well, the
evil work.
mortician just wants the biker chicks so he can have more zombies.
He's not even doing anything with the zombies. He's just storing them away.
No,
Right, he
no,
just has
that's
his collection.
That's not true. They reveal that later in the movie. They have the mine there because they're mining for some radioactive thing, but regular humans die. Oh, yeah, because the radioactivity, which makes them zombies. Which is weird because if they die because of that, then wouldn't they just become zombies? Yeah, this is revealed like later on in the movie, but they talk about it for like 2 minutes, and that's when he's like, "I do it because not for science, not for
'Cause I'm
research, blah
mean."
blah." Because I'm mean. Yeah, one of the times he says he's mean.
So
that's why he has the zombies
confused.
locked up in the mine. So they mine the radioactive material, and that's why he needs more because he can sell it.
How the fuck did you realize this? Dan, did you realize this? That the zombies mine the radioactive material?
That
It's
happened
weird when you pay attention.
Was
near
I
the
taking
end
a
of the
piss?
movie, near the end of the movie, after they saved the blind kids from the broken down bus from the zombies, and they're all in
Yeah.
the hearse and they're like driving back into town. Little guy Bob explained it all.
Oh.
Yeah, this is about the time when we had a little trouble with our VHS tape.
Oh,
We got it sorted out. We
yeah.
watched the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you were just
Maybe.
distracted.
Yeah.
You're like,
My
what is
VCR
wrong?
messed up, guys. As VCRs often do.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But can I just backtrack
Yeah,
real quick?
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
Billy Bob Thornton,
Absolutely.
while he was still alive at the trailer park, explains why everyone in the town is dying. And he's like, after the mine closed, this town has had some bad luck. Jenny died because of a car accident. Steve died because of smoking. And Gina died because of bad pork. Right?
Yeah, he was so nonchalant. They're just like, people die. It happens. It's just bad luck. I imagine the town was flourishing when the
mine was
still open. They had a population of like 5,000, and then people just start dying one by one.
Just a bad pork epidemic. But
it's probably the mortician,
townsfolk.
and they're just like, another one bites the
Yeah,
dust.
I'm assuming that the mortician's killing people with bad pork.
Probably.
Right?
I mean, he shot Billy Bob Thornton. He shanked the sheriff.
And if she ate bad pork, why is that butcher still in business?
That's
what
probably
I-
why he died. Bad pork. I'm gonna put
He felt bad
meat hooks in
and-
you. I don't know. Yeah, the
And,
mortician just
committed
made him
pork
feel
suicide.
so bad that he just committed suicide. I keep dropping my notebook, guys.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. breaking all the rules.
So the string of bad luck, which happens, I guess.
Yeah. So I just want to put that out there. People are dying of bad pork left and right in this town. And then Billy Bob Thornton dies. And then
we go back to the biker chicks, the big group who are all fighting, who kind of make up in a way. And that's when the zombies finally reach the outskirts of town.
Yeah, so how far are we into the movies when the zombies like actually come close to the
maybe
town?
like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, maybe half hour or like 45 minutes into it. And they start attacking this one house that has...
there's a lady knitting and a dude whittling on his couch.
And the woman is complaining
that's
like
what
the
townsfolk do.
Yeah, her husband died, and now she has to do everything, even though there's two guys sitting on the couch. And the grandpa has to go out and get firewood in the tool in
because
the shed
it's
or
so
whatever.
cold in the desert.
Exactly,
that they need to start a fire.
They don't have electricity there,
but
I guess.
everyone else does except for this one house.
Well,
whatever.
it's the outskirts. Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
No, we haven't believed anything.
Yeah, I mean, if there's like yakety sack zombies, why question this lady not having...
Hacky sack zombies?
Yakety sack.
They should some kind of college zombie movie.
I wish.
They should have almost had Benny Hill music in this.
That's yakety sack.
That is?
Yeah.
I
that's
just
what I'm
noticed
talking
Benny
about.
Hill music. I don't know. So the zombies start attacking this house.
Yeah.
And the people in it.
Finally,
they
first
get
zombie
some
attack
action.
of the movie,
Yeah.
other than that kid who never found his dad. And his
And-
dad's clearly not looking for him because I mean,
He's
if
just
this
another orphan.
if this kid was blind, he would be on that bus.
He would be. So they attack the house. The three people die, and there's a baby upstairs.
Is there?
There is.
Oh yeah, 'cause that's when I left the room.
Yes.
I missed the complete fun with the baby.
You did, yeah. There's a whole lot of fun with the baby.
I'll
So
rewind it and
the
watch it
woman in the house starts taking a log from the fire and beating people up, and that's when the house gets set on fire. And the biker chicks are across the street conveniently, and they see the house go up in flames
because there's no special
and-
dimensions in this entire movie.
Nope, not at all. They hear the baby over whatever, and they go, "Oh, we got to save the baby." So they run into the burning house, and they go up the stairs, and there are zombies trying to get to the baby. So they grab the baby, and there's two biker chicks and two zombies, and the biker chicks are throwing the baby between each other, trying to fight off the zombie, and then the other
As
biker
one
chicks
would do with a baby.
exactly.
in that
You throw
situation.
a baby. So to get the baby to safety, they throw the baby out the window. And
Does it break through the glass, or is it an open
It was
window?
just conveniently open.
Damn.
I know. And another one of the biker chicks catches it, and then the two biker chicks jump out a different window because they broke through that window.
Oh.
Granted, they're on the second floor, and they come away unharmed.
Yeah,
and the baby's
yeah.
fine, and they're just like, shh. Oh, here's
They
a
are
pacifier.
wearing a lot of leather.
They are, yeah. But does leather help when you jump out a second-story window?
I believe that's why they invented leather.
So it's
so you could
+1 armor.
Yeah, they were considering calling it second-story survival gear, but leather was easier to
leather was
spell.
a lot easier.
Yeah.
And guess who show up?
Billy Bob Thornton.
No,
I
Billy Bob
know.
Thornton's dead. Townsfolk again.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you set this house on fire. Why'd you do that? Give us that baby."
This is wild. It's not just random townsfolk. It's the same mob of townsfolk.
15 people.
The same 15 people following them around and just conveniently confronting them every time they, get into a scuffle or something.
So that's when everyone discovers, oh my God, zombies, because a horde kind of stumbles out of the darkness.
Yep.
And the townsfolk are like, oh, that sucks. Well, we're not going to kill them. The biker chicks, the cycle sluts are like, what? You guys have guns? Because they all have guns. They all have assault rifles and shotguns.
Yeah,
and they use
threaten them with death, and then they say, well, I can't use my gun. But then right after, that same dude who says, I can't use my gun, shoots a zombie in the gut.
Because it startled him.
Yeah. And then that zombie walks off in a cornfield, and then the nurse or something's like, that was my husband. He's like, he's a zombie now, gotta shoot him. And then I believe those people disappear for another half an hour.
Well, yeah, they run away because they're like, well, we can't shoot these zombies because they're townsfolk.
Oh, yeah, they're
we're not gonna kill people who we love. And it's like, oh, okay, so just get eaten, I guess.
That made me so confused because they were like, biker ladies, you need to help us with this zombie problem.
We'll give you $500. No, $700.
Yeah, so they're like, you have to kill these zombies, but then when they need to kill the zombies, they're like, nope, can't do it because we know them. What? Why? You're just, it's okay to, hire, murderers to kill people for you, but you can't do it yourself? Come on, grow a pair. Jeez.
So the zombies are kind of coming, and the biker chick's like, nah, we're out of here.
Yeah, so then this is just, they go into the town, they leave the town, they go back in the town, and then the orphans come back, right?
Yeah, the orphans' bus broke down again.
Yeah.
They have a very unreliable bus.
Or did they just stay there? Because I don't believe the bus even moved.
No, the bus moved.
Did it?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Because they fixed it, and that's when you see, like, they're driving off, and that's when the zombies kind of start stumbling out.
Okay, so the orphans are getting attacked by zombies, but the adults have disappeared.
The adults left.
They just left? Is that what they said?
I don't know.
We can only assume because you didn't see their bodies.
No,
because everyone mumbles in this movie. So who knows what happened?
These are pretty terrible. These are pretty terrible orphans because even the
they're
bus
not
driver,
good at, like they keep finding parents everywhere. Like they're terrible orphans in that sense.
No, they're
bad
like,
at being orphaned.
No, they're just people don't like them. They just leave them.
Oh, they get orphaned again. They got double orphaned by their caretakers.
They just say, "Oh, why is the bus driver so quiet?
That's rough.
Why can't I hear the bus engine going? Why aren't we moving? Hey, bus driver, shit, he's gone."
Yeah. So then the zombies start attacking the blind orphan bus, and one of the orphans is like, "Oh shit, he's got that Uzi." So he grabs the Uzi from the bus and just holds it by his hip and starts blowing away zombies. But I was like, this is going to be fucking awesome. And it was awesome, but it's a semi-automatic Uzi. So I was really
semi-automatic Uzi, and it had a silencer too.
Yeah.
Did it?
No.
No. It's just
it
how
wasn't
it looked.
No, that's
but
just
it wasn't
an elongated barrel.
It wasn't like killing zombies left and right. He was like, boop, boop.
Well, it's a pretty low budget movie. Maybe they couldn't afford one.
I know, but I mean, if you can shoot off one squib, you can shoot off like 12 at a time, right? Come on.
Maybe he, because he's blind, he didn't just want to use the fully automatic part. Are there Uzis?
No,
that
they
can
made
switch?
a joke about it later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the blind kid was like, "God damn, semi-auto Uzi."
Maybe that's just another line that was mumbled that I couldn't hear.
Probably. It was in the church later before they burn it down. Burning down a lot of buildings in this movie, by the way.
Yeah. So the biker chicks,
they see the orphans.
They see the orphans, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta help." So they do. So
not really. One
sacrifices herself.
She kamikazes the bus, which she fucking kills like 0 zombies.
One
while doing
zombie.
This.
One zombie.
So that's one human, her own life for one zombie. And
for a brief,
by doing this, she slides her bike underneath the bus, and which in movie theory would explode the entire bus because it's a movie.
If you want to talk about movie theory, the Uzi would have also blown up the bus because that's just
by shooting the windows.
Just vaguely shooting the bus.
That's true.
It would have just gone up.
Yeah, any bullet to any vehicle will just explode it automatically.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it is.
Her bike
except
literally went under the bus, like right where the gas tank would be, and the bike does explode.
And she explodes.
So she dies, kills one zombie, helps 0 orphans, and the bus doesn't explode. But then they get the orphans off the bus, and then it explodes conveniently. But I'm just saying the logic of this woman. It was not a very thought out kamikaze attack.
It's really confusing because they all ride up on their bikes and they're totally exposed. And that's when Bob shows up with the hearse and he's going to run the bikers over. But the Gina Davis redhead is like, "No, stop. We're going to save the kids." And they do because okay. And two biker chicks jump in the bus, and they're like, "Come on, get in the hearse."
And then it blows up, and they
then
die.
it blows up, and yeah, it's unclear. Did those two biker chicks make
because
it out?
I don't even
or
know
not?
how many biker chicks were at the beginning of this movie, but I feel like it was like 25.
Yeah, in the end, there's
like six. Yeah. There's a lot of characters just go missing in this movie, and like I don't really notice because they never properly introduce any of them. So maybe there was 25 biker chicks. Maybe there was 6 all along. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's
I
possible.
don't
But that's
care.
when we reveal that they're radioactive in the mines, and that's how they make the zombies, and everyone's an outcast because Bob's like, I'm a dwarf. Nobody likes me. I want to be big. The blind kids are like, wah, wah, wah. We're blind. We're orphans, whatever. And the Gina Davis redhead is like, well, you guys wouldn't understand, but we're bikers and we're outcasts. And they're like, oh, like being a blind orphan?
Oh, that pulled at my heartstrings a little bit. So then they go back to the town, I think.
This is when the movie like really speeds up. And
Yeah,
kinda gets
this like the
confusing.
last half an hour was really good.
Because the biker boss is like, well, I don't want to deal with this, so I'm going to leave because she just decides.
Oh, yeah. So
does
she
whatever
drives
she
off
wants.
into the desert. She crashes her bike or something, and then the zombies start attacking her.
Yeah. And then who comes to save her?
Gina Davis.
Yeah, exactly.
Look-alike. So she, like, another, like, poorly thought out plan. She, like, hops. She does, like, a jump. I don't know what she's jumping off of, but her bike flies through the air and lands in the, like, barren desert where the lead biker lady is getting attacked by zombies. And then they, like, do this really poorly choreographed fight.
Yeah, this is where the biker boss uses her whip, but really poorly.
Yeah, she's
like she whips a zombie and like pulls it off the Gina
like,
Davis,
pulls it
but then
towards her.
right onto her. She clearly doesn't know how to use a whip.
No, it's
she's clearly no Indiana Jones.
It's like when you first like try to like you're at the pool or something and you're like trying like as a little kid to towel your friend or whatever.
I was gonna say, did you ever you guys ever play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time for Super
Yes,
Nintendo?
of course.
And there's the level with the Rocksteady and Bebop on the pirate ship, and they have the whip, and they can whip you and they spin
think I got
you.
that far,
Oh, okay.
but-
Oh man. So one has a whip, one has like what do you call the fencing thing? It's not like an actual sword. It's like I don't
whatever.
know. It doesn't matter. And
A
then
foil.
Yeah, sure. We can go with that. That sounds legit. And then the other one has
That's
a whip.
true.
So if he whips you, like you get wrapped
You
up.
spin around and
then
get
you
really
spin
dizzy.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, except she just pulls it
She's just
towards...
pulling zombies onto her person.
Yeah. And so they fight off the zombies, and Gina Davis has a grenade. So she throws the grenade at like the 6 or 7 zombies.
Where the fuck did she get a grenade from?
They just all have grenades randomly.
They're biker chicks.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to
I'm
have a
sorry.
grenade.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
exactly.
I
Come on.
I didn't realize that. You're right.
When
You're
Dane,
right.
when Dane was a biker chick,
he
he had grenades all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Duh. You can't leave biker home without them.
No, I guess you can't.
There is no biker home. That's the point.
Well, she went home and she had to get more
the open road
grenades.
is the home
Yep.
with the
And
grenades.
That's why the Gina Davis went to Billy Bob Thornton's house, 'cause she left a couple grenades there.
Remember she had like that brown paper bag? Probably filled with grenades.
Probably.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Or sandwiches. Explosive sandwiches.
Yeah, so good they're
Grenade sandwiches. So she throws the grenade, blows up the zombies,
had some
and
explosive
the zombies the zombies blow up, and the boss is like, all right, we'll work together. Like, she's so bipolar about the whole thing.
Yeah,
she's like, I don't want to
really
help
like
you. I
her
hate you
character
all.
at all.
Just kidding.
She's
I'm
not
the boss.
She's not likable in the least. She just
No.
sings poorly designed rock and roll music and then yells at people, and like I really wanted her to die from a zombie attack or something. But of course she lives because I guess she's the main character. I don't know.
She's a main character, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. So then, is this the big zombie fight?
Yeah, they go back to the town and they go to like a hardware store and they load
Yeah.
up.
Oh no, because they're like they kill a couple zombies, but kind of sorta, and then they're like, Bob the dwarf, how do we actually kill these zombies? And he's like, you gotta chop their heads off because there's a battery in their head. And then they go to the hardware store to find decapitating paraphernalia.
They choose all kinds of weapons.
Like a stapler, for
A
instance.
staple gun. One has a blowtorch.
Yeah.
One has just like...
These are all terrible ways to decapitate people.
One has a belt.
Maybe if
I
you
don't know.
want to MIG weld someone's head back on their body or staple their head back on their body, sure. But decapitation, not so much.
I thought it was interesting how through the whole fight there were clearly road flares just sprinkled all over the road.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Maybe
They
the
weren't-
biker chicks were just like... Maybe they spelled something out. We just couldn't see it. I don't know.
And they didn't bother to shoot it.
Yeah, maybe it
Or
said
a bunch of people had flat tires.
It said
and-
Cycle Sluts Tour of the Americas 1988,
Yeah.
written in road flares at night, so people on JetBlue could see it.
And then, so they're in the downtown, and this is the decapitation montage, which is awesome because it's legit like 5 minutes of just zombies getting their heads chopped off by different things like staplers and whatever. They've
Yeah.
managed to do it.
They clear out like a section
pretty
of
good
zombies.
wave.
Yeah, pretty good wave of zombies.
Yeah.
And
But I feel like
then-
it's the same because we keep seeing the same zombie extras over and over and over and over
I
again.
like that one guy who looks like Pedro, and he's just got his tongue hanging out.
Oh, with the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Vote for
awesome.
Pedro from
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
So
He's my
He's a good
favorite
zombie.
zombie.
He is a good
I like the
zombie.
bride zombie. Not gonna lie.
Oh, and then
Brian
like
Zombie's
during
pretty
this,
good.
you got the mortician like on the roof of a
Yeah, mumbling.
Go zombies! Shoot my gun! There's zombies! And that's all he does.
Yeah,
He
that's
just
what he
yells-
says. That's
yells.
his big
Oh,
monologue.
So
He's
like
just totally nonsensical stuff.
He
or
gets
mumbles.
he gets like assaulted by the biker chick zombie. So I figure, oh, okay, he's totally a zombie, but I guess he's not a zombie yet.
Right,
No,
yeah,
he's-
so I
he's
thought he
kinda
was a
like,
zombie too.
He's kind of like anything can happen to him, but he doesn't die.
He
I
gets
can't
shot in the
think
leg.
of-
He doesn't limp. He starts getting bitten by a zombie. Doesn't get turned into a zombie.
No, he's got a healing factor, I guess.
I guess so.
Maybe it's
Sounds
because
awesome,
he's
that
a mad
guy.
scientist. He made some sort of like
Possibly.
he embalmed himself with chocolate milk, and
Yeah,
now he
it's
doesn't
possible.
feel pain. Why not?
But he rolls out when like another wave of zombies come out, and he's just has a wheelbarrow filled with assault rifles and
Right.
shotguns. And they're like,
By the way-
zombies, you use these guns. You can use them. Shoot the biker chicks. Like,
And they
In a
don't.
wheelbarrow.
right? Like the whole problem for him isn't that like, oh no, zombies are attacking. He's like, these bitches let all my zombies out, and now I have to kill them because I just need more zombies.
Right. And by the way, so this town has a population of 127 people by this point, and a population of about 2,000 zombies.
More zombies.
There's
just keep
more
showing up.
zombies than
Yeah.
people in this town, which is fine by me. I'm not complaining, just pointing it out. It's a numbers thing.
Do you guys think if the blind kids were turned into zombies,
They
that-
just bump into shit.
Yeah,
I would love that.
like
I think that
I'm
they
not
did
gonna
not
lie,
play
too.
with that enough.
That was another disappointment in the movie where I thought that
you wanted more blind kids to
Well,
bump
I
into
figured
shit.
at least one of the blind kids was going to turn into a zombie.
Yeah,
that
that's
None of
would've
them
been-
did.
that would have been okay. I would have watched that
Yeah.
because it's not like they would have restored their eyesight, but they'd have the implant, so you'd figure maybe something would work.
Oh, but
Maybe
yeah,
it'd
these
be-
are the zombies that this is why he doesn't turn into a zombie, because he didn't get the implant put into his head. He gets attacked. So these aren't the zombies that bite you and you turn into a zombie.
Oh, yeah.
So that makes sense now.
They
That's
just,
right.
They're just murdering people.
Yeah,
eating
they just
them.
eat people.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess
because
that
to be
clears it
a
up a
zombie,
bit.
you need to have that battery pack in your skull and have chocolate milk blood.
They got to be
Right?
robots.
Yeah,
Robots.
robo zombies
That's right.
So they come up with a plan
to lure the zombies into a church with meat.
with meat. They go to the.
And this is where the teenager shows up again. He hasn't been in this movie at all, and now he shows up at the butcher shop to drag a cow carcass into the church. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty
You
much
can
it.
fact check me on this one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am correct.
So they
Watch the movie.
They
It's
also
there.
just find several crates of dynamite lying around.
Oh yeah, no,
in,
they go to
like-
the dynamite store.
dynamite
Yeah, that's
store.
Right?
that's where he shows up. That's where the teenage kid shows up
Yeah.
because he's got the key to the dynamite room.
Dynamite room.
It's padlocked,
Keep
and they
out
used a master
dynamite
lock
room.
because they shot the lock and it would not open.
Yeah.
So that's how you know it's a master lock.
And he had the key to open the dynamite room, so that's why.
Well, because his dad's the sheriff, so
and
it
the
makes
sheriff
sense.
obviously has the key to the dynamite room. And
If I were a sheriff, I would need the key to the dynamite room. That's like one of the perks.
I think so.
So they lure all the zombies in there. All the blind kids are in there safe and sound, and they start caroling. Like they sing a Christmas song of some sort.
We're trying to lure the zombies into the church.
Yeah.
That's not the way to do it.
Well, they also
the
have the
zombies
ice cream
like-
truck filled with the meat and a bomb.
But there's cases of dynamite. They use like 3 sticks of dynamite, maybe.
Maybe they had more in there, but maybe just for the bomb, they
There's
only
a
needed...
lot more meat than dynamite, I feel.
you need a lot of meat to lure some zombies.
I guess. And then you don't need caroling children that are blind. So they use the blind kids as bait, which is terrible because they can't see the zombies. They can't run away from something they can't see.
Not when you think about
When
it,
there's
because these cycle sluts, they want to destroy the zombies.
They're ruthless. you
Yeah,
know?
they're ruthless.
They don't.
So if they got
So they don't care about the
They don't
blind
give
kids.
a
even though
patootie
they-
about these kids.
But they tried to save the kids before, and now they're
Well,
like,
they
we're going to
do.
use you as bait.
But
even though we just
if
saved
someone
your lives.
has to die, I
The-
guess it could be these
They're
kids we
already
have no attachment
partially
to.
dead in the vision aspect of life, so might as well just
Life is just
going to
keep
And the
dragging them
parental
down
aspect.
anyway.
Yeah, their souls and vision have been crushed, so we might as well just kill them off with zombies. Where our wayward biker ways are more important.
Yeah. So they lure all the zombies inside, but the mortician blocks the back door, so they can't get out that easy. That's when Gina Davis crashes the... I'm not going to call it an ice cream truck. I'm going to call it a meat dynamite truck. Crashes through the front door and diverts the zombies' attention, and they get out through a window?
Kids, if you're listening to this podcast and you ever see an ice cream truck, but it's actually a meat dynamite truck, stay away.
That means zombies are near.
Clint Howard might be driving that as well.
Is that
Meat
Ice Cream Man?
dynamite. I need to
Ice
see that
cream,
movie.
man.
Ice Cream Man?
So then the church.
Oh, yeah, I have.
Oh,
okay.
we're gonna do that.
Yeah, we'll do that
Don't
one.
you worry.
That's a good
Halloween's
one.
coming up.
Gina
So
Davis can't get out, though.
of the meat dynamite truck.
Yeah, because all the zombies are going towards it. But she does miraculously in time
Yeah.
before the bomb goes off, and she saves one of the blind kids who is the kid with the Uzi, who's like the snarky blind
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
And they don't get out of the church, though. Like, it blows, the dynamite goes off, but they somehow go upstairs.
They're in the steeple or whatever where the bell is.
Yeah, that's the steeple.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you
Okay.
open the doors and see all the people.
Yes, this is true.
Exactly.
Yes, all the zombies.
All the dead zombies
Dead
at this
zombies
point.
and meat dynamite trucks.
But they keep coming.
They jump out of the steeple.
The mortician. When does
No,
the
the
mortician
blind
show
kid.
up?
He just randomly comes back.
Yeah, he shows up all the time.
Yeah, he just comes back. Why not?
Yeah.
And so they jump out of the steeple, but you don't see it, obviously, because they can't show them jumping out of the steeple.
Right. So they killed all the zombies, and they.
And then the townsfolk, this is the next day. The sun comes up.
Right. Oh, but how did they kill the mortician? Oh, it
Did
was in
they?
the hearse. They did.
So after the mortician has been taken advantage of by a biker zombie, shot with a shotgun in the leg,
Oh, yeah, she
bit
also...
by a zombie.
Yeah, she blows him because he gets locked in the freezer. This is a while back. I don't think we talked about this. He gets
Yeah, it was
locked
a
in...
little bit.
But no, he gets locked in the freezer and gets his dick sucked by the zombie.
Yeah, the nympho zombie.
Yeah, the nympho zombie. So she sucks 2 dicks within like 5 minutes of each other. I just want to say that. Not even 5 minutes, like 3 minutes, 2 dicks. So continue, Dane.
So, oh yeah, and then so somehow he's still not a zombie, or he's not dead after bleeding and whatever. He kind of sticks his head out the window, and I don't know. Somehow the window rolls up and it kills him.
Yeah.
And that's that.
What a
Of everything
what a
that
terrible
could
way to
kill
go
this
out.
guy. Yeah, of all the other things that's happened to him.
Maybe it just
Death
cut
by
off,
window.
you know, just crushed his
Esophagus.
yeah, and he couldn't breathe anymore, and that's what finally got him.
So then it's the next day, and the townsfolk are like now they're super happy. Like all the 5 townsfolk
Give
that
them
are
a sack
left.
of money, the $700 in a big sack of money.
Yeah, they have 2 giant like
$6 bills.
burglar sacks of money, and they only said they were going to pay him $800. So it must be filled with like all coins or something.
Nickels, all nickels. What happened? We'd never find out what happened to the orphan kids, though, because they weren't there.
There was a couple orphan kids with them, but they don't ride off with them, though.
Oh, that's true, actually.
They stay in the town.
Give them some sweet, customized cycle slut jean jackets.
They initiate them by pouring beer all over them.
Yes, on these underage children, they pour beer on them.
The sheriff's dead. Who are they going to tell, you know? It's whatever.
And
they're outlaws.
So, but then the thing is I just realized this now. The biker chicks take the 2 burglar sacks of money and then leave the town at the end of the movie.
Yes, with 2 of the guys that the bikers screwed.
Right. But they leave the orphans in the town. Those orphans could use that money. Because the biker chicks just haphazardly throw the fucking money on the road.
When they're riding away, yeah.
Yeah, they don't spend it. They're just like, we're badass, so we're going to
their
throw
job
this
is
money
done.
out.
They don't care. It's the townspeople's
Those
job.
poor blind orphans could use that money. Those biker chicks are biker dicks.
No, they're cycle sluts.
Oh, you're
they
right.
want dicks.
That's true.
Because if they're going to be called sluts, they might as well call themselves sluts first, and that's one of the lines from the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's powerful. So that's the end of the movie.
That is Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town, which I could still never remember the name of the movie. I got to look at the tape.
So what would you guys rate this?
Well, hold on. So let's get some different reviews in here first.
All right, go for it.
So IMDb,
yes,
the ratings for it is a 3.7 out of 10 stars. And Amazon, for the reviews, gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So 2 very different. It's
I don't understand.
37% and then
wildly
80%.
different. But I guess the Amazon people are people who are actually buying this. So they probably know what they're getting into.
Yeah, I imagine.
And then
I
the
didn't look up the
IMDb
Rotten
people
Tomato one.
are more trolls. I don't
Possibly.
know.
But fun fact, this movie was actually originally called Chrome Hearts.
That is a shitty name, and I'm so glad that it was called Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town, or I would never have watched it, ever.
I would have never purchased this movie.
No.
That reminds me of, what was that movie that had like
Gary Busey. It was like
called like Chrome Angels or something.
Yeah. It was a terrible biker movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was not good. Don't watch it.
Screw that noise.
What would you guys give this movie as a rating?
Ooh, out of 10?
Yeah.
You go first.
Oh man,
because you liked it the most out of all of us.
I think I did. I give this movie probably, if I had to guess.
You shouldn't guess. You should know how you feel
you should
about
know.
it.
Okay.
If I had to guess what my opinion was,
I give Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town, like.
Keep in mind, you gave The Right Connections 10 out of 10 stars.
I did. Oh man, I'm gonna give this movie probably like 7.5.
Wow.
Motorcycles out of 10. All right, there you go.
All right, that's fair.
All right, what about you, Topher?
Ooh, I'm not too far off. I'd say maybe 6.5.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's only one whole point up.
Yeah, that's
know.
more than
You
I
acted like
would have
you
thought
hated
you
this
would have
Really?
given it.
I didn't
Yeah.
hate it. I liked the movie. It was fun. It was just there's a lot of like downtime. Like there's a lot of like boring stuff in the beginning.
Yeah.
But like the shit that happened was actually cool.
This movie to me,
I would give the Mortician 10 out of 10 zombies.
There's so many other. This perfectly to me. Sorry, Kevbot. We'll
That's
get
all
to
right.
Your thing in a sec. I just gotta get this out of the way before I forget. Of course I'm forgetting. So this,
good point.
If you're the type that you enjoy like rock and roll horror movies, like Rock and Roll Nightmare or
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat. There's that other one there, Hard Rock Zombies. If you're into crap like that, this movie would definitely go in that collection.
Yeah, if you like trauma movies, I guess.
Yeah, that
because it is a
too,
trauma.
yeah.
It's not as like gory as most.
I like
trauma
that about
There
movies.
was very little gore.
Yeah,
Very
because
little.
this was a major release. I guess New Line is involved with
Right,
it. So
Right. So, dude, what would you rate this movie out of how many motorcycles?
I would give this 4.5 motorcycles.
4.5.
Wow.
4.5.
Wow.
You know, I couldn't understand most of the dialogue.
only
It
9
just
axles.
jumped around so much, and yeah, you know, it's
So you wouldn't You wouldn't rewind it, or it's your tape. So are you going to rewind it? Hey, we never talked
yeah.
about how you came across this tape. How did you come across this tape?
I came across it at the store that I work at.
Whoa!
I know, it was just like one of these things where we have a small VHS selection at the store that I work at. It's called That's Entertainment in Worcester. And it was like sticking out because it's like, oh, Tommy Boy and Titanic
Park,
and and just like normal
One.
stuff. And then this, and it's like, ooh, this looks good because the box looks really cool.
Yeah.
So for a whole, what's the price tag say there?
$1.99.
$1.99.
That's E.
It's pretty good. Pretty good
What
for
a deal.
$1.99. Yeah, I
Did
wouldn't
you purchase
I
it?
wouldn't pay. I did.
Okay.
I did purchase it, so it's part of my collection now. I probably will not watch it again unless you guys want to watch it.
Yeah, maybe.
I was thinking one of these Halloweens, maybe it's upcoming one, we should have some kind of rock and roll horror movie marathon.
Well, we should do rock and roll horror movies for the
Well,
podcast.
the problem is all the other ones
that
I
would be
have
cool.
are on Divid, so
Oh,
that
yeah.
won't work too good.
All right. Well, I have Trick or Treat. I think we might be able to do that one.
Why don't we do this? We get a VHS player and we hook it up to
It's called
the
a
DVD
VCR,
player.
Kevin.
Well, whatever. We
Dude,
get
VCR.
we get a VCR and we get a DVD.
We just bootleg it to
Yeah,
VHS
yeah, we just-
and then watch it.
Exactly.
And use that loophole.
I guess.
Exactly.
I don't
mean,
know.
if we really
That's
wanted
a real
to.
VHS Bandit move.
I know.
feel.
It's pretty bad.
So I guess that wraps it up.
Well,
Unless you guys
not quite. I was just
No?
going to mention something else.
Nope,
going
you're
back
done.
going back to the gore, the trailers for the beginning of the tape.
Yeah.
were both red band trailers.
Those were like the trailers were better than this whole movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love the trailer. It was for House 4.
House 4, which had like a lot of
a
gore,
lot of blood and
lot
a
of-
talking pizza
I can't-
face.
If we can get that movie, if we can.
We need. If anyone
banditize
has
that
House 4, please get in touch with us.
Yo,
Yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
we really, really, really want to watch House 4.
Yeah, it would be super cool.
Seriously.
And then the other trailer on there was Freddy's Dead, which is what did I say? Nightmare or not Nightmare? Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street,
like
number 6 or something.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's the only one
That
that,
one looked good,
that
too.
wasn't
I
called
still haven't seen
Nightmare
that
on
one.
Elm Street. Yeah, I haven't seen
Yeah,
that one
good
either.
trailers on this tape.
Yeah.
Good trailers.
So you can
I like
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was
go,
gonna say,
go for it, Daintree.
If you're like into like 80s metal, you'll like this movie too. There's a lot of sweet metal in this movie.
No, the soundtrack was the worst part of this
man,
movie.
I loved it. I
It
thought
was
it was
all
sweet.
fresh music. There's like the zombie like yakety sax song is cool, and there's
No, it's the
there's
worst
there's some cool
mean,
like
like,
synth music,
when
but
they're,
like
like-
most of it
when
is
they're,
like
beheading the zombies. They're like, I
Yeah,
thought this
the
stuff was awesome.
No.
yakety sack song was the only one that wasn't like wailing guitars.
yeah, it's like
And like,
I like that
trudging,
stuff.
trudging lines and
just
stuff.
just yes, like blocking out all of the dialogue, all this terrible
was
like
really
guitar
loud.
music. Yeah,
It was, yeah. Especially
Ugh.
compared to everyone mumbling their lines.
I like if the music was better, I would have given this a better score. I think.
Whoa.
So you,
But I guess you loved it, so hey,
Yeah.
if you want to
Yeah.
purchase the soundtrack to
I liked
Chopper
it.
Chicks
I should
and
go
Zombie
and see if I
Town
can get it on cassette tape.
on Epic
yeah,
Records.
go down to Strawberries
Yeah.
or maybe HMV, see if they have it. So if you want to watch it, I mean, you can certainly find it on Amazon.
Yeah.
The DVD and the VHS. It is on DVD.
And
I
we
did see
can't
that.
tell you to watch the entire movie on YouTube
But it is up there
It
in
is
parts.
there.
in 10 different parts.
Yeah. So you can always do that.
Or not,
Or
because
not.
it's illegal,
This
Kevin.
is to me.
Hey, we've recommended YouTube before.
I mean, like a lot of this junk that obviously we've done in the last 2 episodes, I guess. like all these movies that we seem to watch, they're the kind of movies that you get some junk food. We got Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
We got some chicken units and some burgers and stuff. This is the kind of movie that you get some junk food and you get together with your buddies.
That's every movie.
Well, yeah. I mean,
we do that for every movie.
I like how, I think you've mentioned this on every podcast. Well, like the rules to abide by while watching shitty movies.
It's the VHS Bandit rules.
Well,
it's a Bandit code.
Listen, the reason why I say
we
this
should call it that. We should call it the Bandit code.
There you go, the Bandit code.
All
Shazam.
right, adhere by the Bandit code, folks.
So the whole thing is like, okay, so like how we say like, oh, you can watch this movie here and there. Now, sometimes if you go watch a movie on YouTube, you watch it alone. You don't watch it with your friends. If you so happen to want to watch this movie on YouTube because you can't wait to
make sure you have friends with you.
Yeah, please watch it with friends and some junk food.
Yeah, I don't think I would enjoy this if I was by myself.
Right.
At least throw like some fries in the oven or something to just watch while you while you're watching
get a
YouTube
Dinty Moore meal in the microwave, or something like that.
Good suggestion.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, just don't watch this movie alone, and don't watch this movie with some kale chips.
With a salad.
With a salad, yeah.
Not going to work.
You need some junk, and you need your pals. That's what you got to do to watch this junk.
That's the Bandit code.
There you go. We're going to abide by these rules. I hope all you guys at home do that too.
Yes. So thanks for listening. That wraps up this issue. This episode.
Episodes like TV. This is like a radio program.
This podcast episode. If you haven't already, you can follow us on Twitter at the VHS Bandits, or Facebook.com/the VHS Bandits, or you can email us if you have opinions or
suggestions, or if you own House 4 and you want to donate it to the podcast,
or want to correct our grammar, spelling, anything like that.
We would love to hear your own opinions and ratings of 1 through 10 motorcycles on Chopper Chicks.
We'll read your stuff on the next episode.
Yeah. We would just love to hear, even the last couple movies we watched, we just love to hear if you guys watch these movies, how you watched them, what kind of junk
you had, how many pals.
It's all a good formula, so just let us know.
Yeah, if you let us know, we'll definitely read
it out.
In our next episode 4.
We want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, so you can email us at thevhsbandits@gmail.com. Of course, we're on iTunes, and what was the other one?
Well, we're on Stitcher and, whatever podcast app you have, you're probably going to find us.
Exactly. Just search VHS Bandits.
Yep.
So I want to thank you guys again for listening. Again, with me as always is the Dane Train and Topher Hansen, and I am the Kevbot. And as always, be kind and rewind.
See you, dudes.
Bye.